Mike Pompeo issues a call to the world's democracies to hold authoritarian governments accountable. Here's One America's Hans Hubbard with this report.
Consequences should follow the disruptive acts of authoritarian regimes, according to the Secretary of State. During a Monday interview with Matt Murray of the Wall Street Journal CEO Council, Mike Pompeo urged world leaders to ensure assaults on the global rules-based order do not go unpunished, particularly when rogue nations renege on their commitments to the international community. He singled out China, pointing to its crackdown on Hong Kong and arguing if the Chinese Communist Party wishes to erase all remnants of the island's democratic institutions, backing down on its previous pledge to allow it a measure of self-rule, then the world should remove its special trade status and treat Hong Kong as, quote, no longer anything but another Chinese communist-run city.
But most importantly, I think what the whole world can demand of the Chinese Communist Party is that it lives up to the promises that it made. You mentioned Hong Kong. They made a commitment, a 50-year commitment. They welched on it about halfway through. When the world sees that, there has to be a cost.
Hong Kong has enjoyed a special place in the global community since 1997, when the island saw the end of British colonial rule. In exchange for China allowing the island a measure of self-rule, other countries were able to treat it as a separate territory and develop more open trading policies than those enjoyed by the People's Republic of China, paving the path for Hong Kong to become an international trading and financial hub. In May, following the enactment of a new security law, which critics say institutes what amounts to de facto direct rule from Beijing, the Trump administration announced it would remove Hong Kong's special status and encouraged other countries to follow suit, a sentiment echoed by Pompeo's Monday statements.
We hope the entire world will come to understand that China welched on a deal. We no longer need to live up to the commitments that were made because of the special nature of Hong Kong. Taiwan will prove to be the same way with respect to the demands that we should place. And I hope that the Chinese Communist Party will make a different decision with respect to Taiwan.
Switching gears, Pompeo also remarked on the importance of holding Iran accountable for its attempts at disruption in the Middle East and highlighted the Trump administration's foreign policy achievements in the region, which he said have left Iran more isolated than at any other point in recent history. Following U.S. withdrawal from the U.S.-Iran nuclear deal in 2018, the Trump administration has pursued a maximum pressure campaign, both by implementing economic sanctions targeting the Islamic Republic's revenue sources, and through military efforts to curtail its Revolutionary Guard's support of extremist organizations in the region. And yet, Pompeo underlined, while the entire world shares the duty of swiftly and decisively responding to bad faith actors, it is ultimately up to these countries whether they wish to join the international community in earnest by foregoing their attempts at global disruption and abiding by the rules that underpin worldwide stability.
But until such time as they make the decision to behave like a normal nation, it ought to be a case that the entire world, whether that's the United States, Europe, or others, we all have an obligation to make sure that the terror that they have foisted upon the world for these last years since at least 1979 is no longer rewarded with billions of dollars from the United States and Europe. That would be the wrong direction to take. And I hope that the world will see that and continue to put pressure on Iran to do the simple thing of behaving like a normal nation.
Hans Hubbard, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.